Hey guys, it's me, Ashley. Welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be another episode of the Box of Books series. If you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Ashley. This is Life with Ashley. Welcome to the channel. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. If you've been here before, then you already know how it goes.
The top of the hour, and the night is the darkest. Pray that you name it, I pray that you want this.
If you're new to the channel, if you're just seeing me for the first time, recently I started something called the Box of Books series, where I read a series of books and I do reviews on them. So I did the first video a couple of weeks ago, like a week ago. That book was by Karen Arnise. It was called Your Next Level Life. So I'll link that video up in the cards if you guys want to go check it out. That book was absolutely amazing. I truly do recommend going to grab that book, especially if you're a young female entrepreneur, a Black African-American female entrepreneur. I definitely recommend you to grab that book. It's amazing. Okay, and also Miss Karen actually reposted me on her Instagram. So the author of Your Next Level Life, the book, she reposted me on her Instagram, guys. I'll insert a picture, but that was really awesome. So yeah, this book right here is absolutely amazing. It is called Fuck That Cape. Okay, when I saw this on Amazon, when I saw this book on Amazon, when I saw the name of the book, I was like, oh yeah, I need this. I need this. Like, it's called Fuck That Cape. Fuck That Cape, okay? The grown woman's unapologetic guide to putting herself first. The grown woman's unapologetic guide to putting herself first, by Jennifer Arnise. Arnise. I'm not sure how to pronounce her name, but Miss Jennifer, I'm rocking with it. I can feel it. I can dig it. Guys, it took me, I want to say 72 hours to read this book. As you can see, I took a lot of notes. I highlighted so much information here. This book is truly amazing. When I heard the name of it alone, I knew that it was something that I needed in my life. I want to dive right in. Because this is something, let me tell you, if you're one of those women, and this is a disclaimer, if you're one of those women who you don't like to hear the truth, and every time somebody tries to correct you, you get offensive, you get offended and you get defensive, this book is not for you. Because from the beginning to the end of this book, this woman is super blunt. She's very upfront. She's very clear. And if you're not ready to start putting yourself first, or if you're, because let me tell you something, sometimes, especially women, and especially Black women, we tend to, we operate from this subconscious place of, we put ourselves last and we don't even know it. Everyone and everything else comes before us, and we don't even recognize it, because it's become normal for us to be last, to put everyone else first and put ourselves last. So it's to the point where we operate, subconsciously we're operating from a place of lack. because we're always putting ourselves last. So this is one of those books that kind of wake you the fuck up. It wakes you up. It wakes you up. And I needed this, especially me, because I recently turned 25. And 25 for me is that age where, you know, you're no longer a child. You're not a teenager anymore. You're a woman. You know, I'm right in between, you know, my 20s and my 30s. I'm right in the thick of it. And I've been through so much in my life. You know, I got pregnant when I was 19. I had my son. My son's father is 25 years older than me. So I was kind of forced really to mature really, really quickly. Not even just with getting pregnant at 19 and being with a man that's older than me. Even before that, even as a child, I was really forced to fend for myself, protect myself, and really provide for myself at a really young age. So, you know, I fostered this mentality of being this strong Black woman. And it was literally this year that I realized that I don't want to be strong. And I don't want anyone viewing me as that. I want to be able to take off my cape. I want to be able to take off my cape and that be okay. You know, so when I found this book and when I read the title of it, I knew that this book was something that I needed. Like, I literally just got into the most heated discussion with the father of my child about this very topic, about being labeled the strong Black woman and how it's so freaking unfair. And ultimately, how Black women have subconsciously fostered that. We've subconsciously fostered that mentality that it's okay to be labeled strong Black women. No. So I want to dive right in. All right. So once again, the name of this book is called Fuck That Cape. The Grown Woman's Unapologetic Guide to Putting Herself First. Okay. So, where do I want to start? Let's start with chapter 1. Chapter 1 is called The Love Letter. Okay. When I first started telling people that my mission was to make Black women remember how beautiful, invaluable, and truly powerful they are, I was met with a lot of resistance from Black folks. They said I could make more money if I catered to all women, and that the pool of Black women would be too small to make an impact. I thought about their advice and could understand their logic. Then I thought about all the things that were made for all women. Everything ever made for all women were never made for Black women. I remember how it felt not having my story as a woman of color told in books about healing the mental and emotional effects of trauma. And forgot about opening any magazine in the grocery line and seeing anyone that looks like me. I was tired of hearing them say, "We are all beautiful," but none of the women on the commercials looked like me. I was tired of being politically correct and pretending race didn't matter, because I realized that in erasing our color, we are also erasing our stories. Black women, most of us, didn't grow up like white women. No shade to them, but we just didn't have the same privileges, and we didn't have the same boundaries, and we didn't have the same burdens. No matter how much people deny it in our country, our self-esteem and self-worth is directly related to our experience of being Black in this country. The tools we use to navigate and move through the world were passed down from our mothers, from their mothers, and then from their mothers, many of whom were slaves. We weren't born free or safe in this country. And because our education and the government and popular media have done such a wonderful job of erasing our collective story, the story of the Black woman, who has been erased in many ways. But the one way it hasn't and cannot be erased is in our present day lives and how we show up in the world. Our voices, our power, and our pain is still palpable in every corner of the world. And I believe it is time to start healing by telling our own story on our own terms and through our own lips. This is my attempt at doing just that. Okay, listen, I agree with her. Just reading that first chapter, that first page of this book, it resonated with me so much, and it spoke volumes. It spoke directly to my soul, and it let me know that the thoughts that I'm thinking as a young Black woman in America, that I'm not crazy. I'm dead on. I'm on point. In this book, she really talks about Black women learning their worth. Learning our worth, and knowing that we are worth it. We are worth love. We are worth all of the amazing things that this world has to offer. But for some reason, we deprive ourselves. We put ourselves last, and we subconsciously programmed ourselves to be okay with the lack thereof. And that's not okay. That is not okay. When are we going to start normalizing luxury for Black people, for Black women? How about that? I'm going to go over some parts of the book that I have highlighted that I really, really enjoyed, that, like I said, it really resonated with me. I'm going to go through each chapter and just touch base on some things that I really enjoyed about the book. Okay. So, chapter 2, time to let your soul glow. Okay. So she says, when we aren't grounded spiritually, when we don't have a strong and solid connection with our divine nature, we drift aimlessly into a very busy life. We take on unnecessary bills, pack on our schedules, and commit to doing things that don't serve us with people that don't really care about us. Like that, you can't tell me that's not true. And even though this book is solely for Black women, this is something I know for all women. Okay? You get so caught up in what everyone else is doing. You pack on your schedule so that you don't think about what you need. So you don't think about what you want. You put the baby, you put the bills, you put your husband, you put your teenagers before you, and you put yourself last. And a lot of that has to do with what she said. When we aren't grounded spiritually, when we don't have a strong and solid connection with our divine nature, you drift aimlessly into a busy life. Just because you're busy don't mean you're being productive, sweetheart. There's a difference. Being busy doesn't mean that you're getting anything done. Being busy just means that you're occupying space up here with unnecessary things. Right? So another part, she says, A rich outer life must be balanced with a rich inner spiritual life. That's deep. And it ties into what she said about being grounded spiritually and having a strong and solid connection with the divine nature. Having a rich outer life must be balanced with a rich inner spiritual life. So on the exterior, you have everything that you want. You prayed for a car, you got the car. You started a business, the business did numbers. You wanted a husband, you got the husband. You wanted the 3 kids and the dog, you got that. But you got busy. You got busy. And you forgot about connecting with yourself. You forgot about yourself. You forgot about staying in alignment with yourself. You lost that solid connection with yourself. So when she talks about having a rich outer life and how that outer life needs to be balanced with a inner spiritual life, that's very true. How are you going to maintain the riches of your exterior life, of your outer life, if you're not balanced on the inside? If you can't process your thoughts, if you don't even put yourself first. Because one thing that I know, my 25 years on this earth, people don't feel bad for putting themselves first. Black women are the only people on this planet. Black women, minority women are the only people on this planet that feel bad for putting themselves first. That will literally make ourselves feel like crap. If we even thought about putting ourselves first, if we even thought about buying ourselves something nice or taking ourselves out to dinner, or saying no to someone who we really, we don't want to deal with this person, but they call and we go running. Black women are the only women, and this is something that I've seen with my own eyes. 25 years on this earth. And black women will bend over backwards for everyone around them, and they will not do it for themselves. Will not. And it's not fair. And and like she said in the first chapter, it has a lot to do with our interconnected thoughts and just our thought processing that was passed down from generation to generation. And I want to go back and I want to read that again because it is so true. She says, the tools we use to navigate and move through the world were passed down from our mothers, from their mothers, and then from their mothers, many of whom were slaves. We weren't born free or safe in this country because education and the government and popular media have done a wonderful job of erasing our collective story. So a lot of the way that we think, the way that we speak to ourselves on the inside, the way that we allow people to treat us, it all dwindles down from generation to generation. From my mother and her mother and her mother. So there's a lot of bondage and healing, a lot of bondage that needs to be broken, and a lot of healing that needs to take place for Black women to understand that we are deserving. We birthed this nation and we carry it on our back. This past election, This past election, Joe Biden was put into office because of black women. Because of black women. And who is his VP? A black woman. Come on, ladies. We are deserving. We are far more than just strong black women. We are so much more than that. Life is not easy. I'm sure that none of our lives have been easy. But the one thing that you can do for yourself is find ways to heal. Heal yourself through whatever avenue you want to take, as long as you're healing the trauma. Whatever it is that you've experienced, whatever it is that you have been through, don't allow it to stagger you. Don't allow it to stagnate your growth. Don't allow it to lock you in this place mentally where you subconsciously start to believe, like foster these beliefs that you're unworthy. Like, that's not fair. It's not fair to you, and it's not fair to the people who love you and want the best for you. Okay, so she talks about building up your spiritual muscle, getting in alignment with yourself, knowing who you are, learning yourself. And it's unfortunate, but as black women, we spend so much time being strong black women that we never get to learn who we are. We never get to learn ourselves. We never get to figure out what it is that we like and that we don't like, what we enjoy and what we don't enjoy, because we spend majority of our lives making others happy, trying to figure out what other people want from us, how we can be of service and add value to other people. And we place ourselves on the back burner. And I've seen it happen all too much. I have, 4 aunts who are phenomenal, amazing black women, but I've watched them spend their life providing for and taking care of everyone else but themselves. And, I love them to death for that. But it also breaks my heart because I can just only imagine how they feel, and they may not feel any kind of way. They may not feel any kind of way because at the same time, then you have that generational barrier where they come from a time where it was a woman's responsibility to, put everyone in front of herself. It's not until now where in my generation where women are waking up and we're like, we don't want to be the strong black woman. We want luxury and like we want more than that. We're healing over here. We don't want the So, but even yet is, with all of that being said, I know that there's still some place in them where they're like, damn, I spent my entire life taking care of everybody else and putting everyone else first. Your years go by and it's just like, did you really enjoy your life? Did you really live the life that you really wanted for yourself? And even now, as I'm talking about it, I'm making a conscious decision in my mind right now to make sure that I live the life that I want to live. And that's what she talks about in this book. She talks about, look, you're going to have to piss some people off. Everybody is not going to like you once you realize your worth, once you start putting your foot foot down, once you start saying no, everybody is not gonna like you. People are gonna think you acting funny. People gonna think that you're better than them. But no, you're realizing your worth. You're healing. You're unlearning the bullshit. You're unprogramming the bullshit. And you're relearning yourself. You're relearning how to love yourself genuinely and how to put yourself first. And there's nothing wrong with that. There is nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with it. Okay? And this is chapter 3. She says, you can't hide from low self-worth. And you can't hide it from others either. It bleeds through every part of your life. It shows up in the ways you don't believe in yourself. And it shows up in the ways you do believe in yourself. Your self-worth creates a clear picture that can cause you to believe that you don't deserve to live. Here are a few other erroneous notions that your self-worth can cause you to believe. And then she breaks down some of the ways that, you know, our mental can kind of play on us when we aren't to our full capacity, when we aren't aware of our worth.
You've got to watch your inner conversation and discipline your thinking and your imagination, because if you don't, your mind will take you on a wild trip. You've got to watch your inner conversation.
Low self-worth is something that is real, and it eats away at women of color. It eats away at us severely. Because when we open magazines and when we turn on TVs, we don't see positive images of women that look like us. What would fashion be without Black people? What would this era of social media be without Black people? What would MTV and BET be without Black people? And I said BET because BET is no longer Black owned. But they still run our shows and they still utilize our culture. So it's like, we have to get in alignment and really understand our worth. Really understand that Black people make this world go round. Not only that, but Black women. Black women are the shit. And like Malcolm X said, we are the least protected, least loved, beings on this earth. And it's fucked up. It's fucked up. But the reason I love this book is because it teaches you how to take control. How to not place your value or your worth in the hands of anyone else. You have the ability. I have the ability to love myself, to pray for myself, to say no when I want to say no, to take myself shopping when I want to work as hard as I want to play as hard as I want to love as hard as I want to. I have control of that. And that's something a lot of Black women don't understand, because we place our core values, we place our self-worth and our belief system in the hands of other people, whether it be our husbands, our boyfriends, what our families think, to the point where we don't even know how to make decisions for ourselves. Living a complete fucking fallacy. Nothing is real. You're just living a busy life. That's it. Just busy. Busy. Raise the kids, send the kids off to college. What else? You don't know yourself. You don't know yourself. You spend your entire life taking care of the husband, the boys, the daughters, the soccer game, the football game. When have you ever taken the time to get to know you? Okay. Chapter 4, get greedy. So she says, when you ask for what you want, it comes from a place of worthiness and belief that there's plenty to go around, so you can easily get your share. Asking for what you think you can have comes from a place of lack, and you not believing that there's enough for you and that you don't believe you deserve to have abundance. So, did you catch that? When you ask from a place of assurance, when you know for a fact that there is enough for you. And that goes back to getting in spiritual alignment. How she talked about having that rich outer life and having that spiritual inner relationship. That's what it all ties in. So when you ask the universe, when you pray for something, know that there's enough to go around for you. You don't ever have to question or be uncertain about anything that it is that you want out of this life, because you deserve it. There's already enough for you. And when you ask, you will receive, but you must ask from a place of confidence, from a place of assurance, knowing that you are worthy and that you deserve it. But when you ask from a place of uncertainty, you get uncertain results. When you ask from a place of uncertainty, you get uncertain results. Period. So get clear. In other words, get clear about what it is that you want. And know that you are worthy of receiving whatever it is that you want. Hey guys, so I decided to end part 1 of the book review here. There's going to be a part 2, so stay tuned for that upload. I hope that you guys enjoyed part 1 of this book review. I really enjoyed recording this and being very transparent with you guys about my thoughts and how I feel about this book and the current state of, America, and just how I see and how I view the world through my eyes as a 25-year-old Black African-American woman who was born and raised here in America. So thank you. If you made it to the end of the video, I really thank you for just being here and allowing me to be transparent. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, leave this video a big thumbs up, and stick around for part 2. Thank you. Bye.